In for position right now. Of course, Spain has to win in order to advance into the quarterfinals.
Campazzo, who is usually the point guard and is a good one for Argentina, and Andres Nocioni, who had that huge game in the overtime win over Brazil, both are going to be rested tonight, we are told. They're not in the starting lineup. They are in uniform. I suppose if the game gets close, they can play. But Nocioni played 47 minutes the other day, and Campazzo played 43, and they're going to get a break.
They will get a break, but let me tell you, La Provitola, a very capable player.
There's a look right there at what Spain did in this tournament, losing those two heartbreakers to open up, and then coming back and beating Lithuania by 50.
Oh, man.
Acuna will jump it up, and we are underway. Rubio will take possession. Here we go.
And we will see if Spain has gotten its mojo back after that thrashing. Don't leave him open.
Gets fouled on his initial foray to the basket. Here's what Argentina has done so far in the tournament. Wins over Nigeria and Croatia before losing to Lithuania. And then that game against Brazil, 111-107 in 2 overtimes. Gasol kicks it back out, gets it back from Rubio. Faces up. Now backs his way down, little fall away baseline. That's not going to go. Rebound taken down by Scola, the best rebounder so far in this tournament.
Yeah, we know a lot about Campazzo, but watch La Provitola, a nice pass right there to Ginobili.
39 years old Ginobili is. He's in the book, and a 3-0 lead for Argentina just underway.
Half the guys on the court tonight will be over 35.
Argentina, win or lose, will advance in this game. Rubio tries to knock one down from deep. It rims out.
Oh yeah, trust me, I'm just telling you. At times he's the starting point guard. Other times Campazzo runs the show. Very capable player.
Campazzo played so well the other day. Gasol misses outside. Rebound slapped out of bounds, and a reach-in foul is going to be called on Rubio.
And as you mentioned, Mike, Spain needs this game desperately. Argentina's set. They're in pretty good shape. We don't know where they'll finish, but they're in. Spain has to get off to a great start today.
Lose, and that's it for Spain. Rubio defending La Provitola. Ginobili gets free and knocks it down.
Wow. Hey, 2 assists and a basket by La Provitola. Ginobili's got 2 threes.
If this is your first chance to see Argentina play, those are their fans that sing throughout a good portion of the game. And a very solid start here for Argentina. They're up 8-3 with the ball. 8:06 to go, opening quarter. Scola. La Provitola.
He's not intimidated at all. He plays for Estudiantes in the Spanish league against many of these guys.
Fernandez with his first touch. Defended by Delfino. Nice little bounce pass. Mirotic had it tipped. Loose ball to Rubio. Sergio Yu. Nope. Out of bounds, and despite Rubio trying to point the other way, it's going the other way.
Argentina, take a look right here. Mirotic, good look. And Scola late. Mirotic has shot the ball fairly well in this tournament. 7-19.
Ginobili loses in traffic, but Acuna on the good bounce, unable to convert. Delfino, step away. Here comes Mirotic. Rubio, a lane to the basket, gives it up instead. Fernandez from the corner knocks down a 3.
I thought Ricky had the easy 2, but he found Rudy in the corner, and Rudy can get hot.
Spain right back in it, down 2. Scola. Ginobili. Good look by Scola inside, and a travel. Acuna had a clean look and took the extra step.
Acuna, a major long shot to make this team, but he's a great energy guy, Mike. He plays for Sergio Hernandez during the season, and there you see Rudy off the pass from Ricky Rubio, knocking down the 3.
Rubio will handle the ball most of the time. Ewell will also play some point guard.
And we'll see
Vitola picks up the foul.
Sergio Rodriguez as well. I love saying La Provitola. It just rolls off your tongue, doesn't it?
It does. It's a great name.
Yeah. I was really looking forward to saying Facundo Campazzo tonight.
I was too. Yeah. We still could see him, I suppose. Hernandez in the lane. The floater goes down.
Of course, Rudy wants a foul, which he usually does.
8 straight points to tie the game at 8. Ginobili tracks it down. Pulls up. Knocks down his 3rd 3.
Amazing international career. Got the 4 championships with the Spurs, but what he's done internationally, he's a Hall of Famer, Mike, in my opinion, just because of the longevity and the history of success.
I'm with you 100% on that. Pretty impressive at 39 years old. Oh!
Rudy can heat up.
Yes, he can. Off balance, buries that one. Nice anticipation by Hernandez there. Gets into the paint. It's the Rudy show.
No question. Right now, Spain scoring like Argentina, not getting back on defense, not getting their defense set.
Hernandez with 10 of the 13. Scola underneath, had it blocked from behind. Mirotic out of the pack with it. Rubio. Mirotic.
Wow.
It's down to 3.
How about Ricky, and how about the passing, and how about the outside shooting for Spain?
How about Spain down 8-0 in this game?
Remember, they made 16 of 32 against Lithuania behind the arc.
They like the 3, that's for sure. Scola trying to make a move on Gasol, gives up the dribble. Rebound controlled by Gasol.
And Coach Rodriguez wants a timeout here if there was a score. The coach can call timeout. He signals to the scores table, but he can also wipe the timeout off if he wishes.
Players cannot call timeouts.
That is correct. And I think Coach Hernandez is going to use one right here to tighten up that defense.
We'll take the... Spain missed their first 3 shots. They've made 6, though, of their last 8 and have a 16-11 lead here early on Argentina. Hernandez with a hot hand.
If Argentina loses, then Brazil will be automatically eliminated, despite the fact that they won earlier today.
Sergio Ewell taking it to the basket, and Gasol is there for the follow. 7-point game at 18-11. Ginobili misses one deep. Rapidly moving first quarter. Rudy trying to bank one home, doesn't work out. Ginobili with the miss. Good lead pass and another traveling violation. That's the second on Acuna.
"25 years old, Acuna. He played for Penarol this year, which is where Sergio Hernandez coached, and just a good role player. Surprised he's starting, but he gives you that defensive effort at center.
Along the baseline. Rebounded Delfino.
Spain is playing pretty loose, Mike, despite the fact that they need this game.
Delfino had that one partially blocked. Loose ball picked off. Rubio's got it. Throws it up.
Wow.
Oh, nicely done.
Holy smokes. How did he see him?
Mirotic gets the 2, but a typical Ricky Rubio pass makes it a 9-point game at 20-11.
He had his eye on Mirotic the whole time and kind of caught everybody by surprise.
Ginobili looking inside for Scola, gets it to him. Backing his way down on Mirotic. Tosses out there to nobody in general, picked off by Rubio. 2-on-1 break. Rubio takes it in. There's the follow. Missed. A second time. 2 for Yule.
Good effort by Yule. Sergio Ricky keeping that ball that time.
I'm impressed given the fact that there's relatively little pressure on Argentina, a ton on Spain.
Yeah.
Spain's the looser team right now.
Well, they are, and it makes you wonder about Argentina. You know, not starting their 2 stars.
Yeah.
2 of their stars anyway.
Scola with the miss, Rubio with the rebound.
We can get into the ramifications of an Argentina loss in the second half. There's so many variables tonight with Lithuania, Croatia up next.
Rubio finds Mirotic again. Misses from the corner.
International coaches think strategically and not just tactically. Tactics are the game. Strategy is what they're thinking about in the tournament, how to position themselves.
Gasol with the block on Ginobili. Fernandez looking inside for Gasol. Goes there, picked off instead. There's a good defensive play by Acuna. Well, it looks like Nocioni is going to play here early, so maybe it was just a rest, trying not to get him that many minutes. As we look at Sergio Rodriguez wants to get into the game. So does Reyes.
When I look at Rodriguez and Reyes in the game, I think of 7 starters, really. They have so many guys who have played major minutes on the international scene. Pazzo is in there as well. Mark.
Yeah. So we're getting a chance to see the 2 guys who we weren't sure we would see. That's going to be a foul. It's going to put Acuna at the line. Gasol raising his hands. So do you think this was as we look at a replay here, a tactical decision that has now been reversed?
No,
a strategical decision rather. It's now tactical.
It's early. Let's see how many minutes everybody plays. But here's what we know for sure: Argentina's in. Argentina can finish anywhere from 1st to 4th, I believe, right?
It would be crazy, but they could go all the way to 4th.
That's right. Now, strategically, as the tournament unfolds, if you're not 1st, you'd rather be 3rd, because that keeps you away from Team USA until the final. And believe me, Mike, how long did it take us at lunch to figure out some of the scenarios? Hour?
Easy hour.
And these coaches are doing
some of the great minds in basketball.
That's true, at that table. And these coaches are doing the same thing with their coaching staffs. They'll take a loss if it means better positioning in the tournament.
Argentina has picked it up here on the defensive end. Rebound. Nice play by Delfino.
When I watch Delfino and Reyes and Rudy, Sergio, these guys have all spent a lot of time in the same league in Spain, and they know each other so well. Some teammates out there in the past. Nocioni now at Real Madrid with 5 of his Real Madrid teammates out here for Spain.
Scola gets fouled, taking it strong to the hoop. Luis Scola has had a wonderful NBA career as well as international career. Just always one of those guys. From the first time I saw him, I was like, he can play on my team.
No doubt about it. Yep.
He looks the same as when he came in the league a long time ago.
And amazingly, he was in the ACB for a long time before he came to the NBA.
Again, the gold medal in 2004, Ginobili, Nocioni, Scola, and Delfino all on that. And you see the ages, 39, 37, 36, and 34.
And then Spain followed up in 06 with the World Championship, and you can put the same amount of ages up there with Navarro, Reyes, Gasol.
Nocioni, not to be denied, unable to finish, taken down by Reyes. Sergio Rodriguez the other way, 22-15. Spain the ball and a 7-point lead. Looking to go inside, they do, and then a reach-in foul. Campazzo picks it up.
Campazzo goes about 5'10", Mike, and he had that huge offensive rebound in regulation the other night that got kicked out to Nocioni, who knocked down the three.
Yule and Gasol both on the bench, side out. Sergio's going to take it and make it.
Looking forward to seeing Sergio in a 76er uniform this year.
25-15, 10-point lead again for Spain. Winded down this first quarter. Look at the three-point shooting. Scola ran into a wall. Rebound and plenty of time here for Sergio Rodriguez and Spain. Winding down the first quarter. Sergio gives up the dribble, tries to loop it inside, picked off. Delfino gets it off. Wide right, and we get a timeout in a 10-point game. Second quarter action about to come your way. So far, Spain doing what they have. Here's what it looks like in Group B, and as you can see, Nigeria is going to be eliminated, but everybody else is still alive. And not only still alive, but that positioning could get all out of shape.
Please don't ask me to explain. And
I will second half.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, Lithuania, Croatia is the nightcap of this Group B. Do you remember on the first day of the tournament, I said that Group B would be extremely balanced, that 5 of those teams could medal?
I do recall that.
See that? You got a good memory. And I also remember saying that after the Team USA, there were 8 teams that could medal in both groups, and I think that we're, you know, Australia, France, Serbia, and then the 4 that come out of Group B, I think all could medal, don't you?
I don't recall that, no.
You don't remember me saying that and looking intelligent?
Hang on your every word, friend.
There you go. Watch Delfino here.
Boy, he is, that move, that little stop and go move, yes. That's his, he owns that.
And it's a major upset that he's playing because he missed 3 NBA seasons with a foot injury.
Clavera having a little trouble.
Nice.
Oh, nice going to the basket. Hernan Gomez.
And a great pass by Juan Carlos Navarro.
Knocked away, picked off. Navarro gets it ahead. Rodriguez thought about the pull-up 3, goes back to Navarro instead. Reyes comes out, sets a screen. How many times have those two done that in their careers?
Thousands and thousands.
Whistle and a foul. Looked like Campazzo from his reaction.
There's that little screen and roll, and Billy to the basket to finish. He'll be in New York this season with Carmelo and Derrick Rose and the Zinger.
Real international flavor to the Knicks.
Yep.
Rodriguez finds Reyes, trying to take advantage of Nocioni, and Nocioni wins that battle. He's tough, isn't he?
They are. They battle in practice at Real Madrid right now. Watch this guy.
Campazzo gets the dribble back, takes the 3. Rebound Navarro. Argentina has missed 11 straight shots. Trailed by 12, 8:34 to go to halftime.
We're getting our first look at Patricio Garino, the former George Washington star. He helped them to the NIT championship this year. Number 29. Good defender, really good defender.
Scola straight away, knocks down a 3. As his career got longer, he improved his range.
I agree. Yep, and this is a shorter shot than he shoots in the NBA season.
Clavera, Rodriguez, Navarro.
Oh yeah, that's his shot right there. I've seen him shoot that floater from the 3-point line.
7:54 to go here, second quarter. 11-point lead for Spain, 29-18. Mirotic back in the game. Hernan Gomez out.
Navarro, can you believe, playing in his 5th Olympic Games? 2000 in Sydney. 36 years old. You know, he played 1 year for the Memphis Grizzlies, and he made almost 160 threes. He was 2 off the NBA rookie record.
Delfino taking it to the hoop and gets fouled. Claver is going to pick it up.
You would think a guy that had success in the NBA would want to stay, but it was the only year you see Delfino to the rim that he played in the NBA. Mike, he was successful, but he's comfortable in Spain, where he's a king.
I was going to say, you play less, you live right.
Yes.
And you're adored by fans.
No question.
What's wrong with that?
It's a good life.
One thing I have noticed in this tournament, by a lot of good players, missed free throws. A lot of free throws have been missed in this tournament.
Yeah.
Gasol's really struggled at the line. Scola's really struggled at the line.
Yeah, very much so. Ginobili missed a few in that double overtime. There you see Vincent Collet, coach of France, watching, getting a look at these two teams.
France right now the 3rd seed in Group A. Rodriguez looking to make a move on Nocioni. Nice dish. And the foul is going to be on Nocioni, who tends to talk to the officials a lot over the course of a game.
Nice dish right here. Let's see what Nose did right here. Yeah, I think he whacked him. Mirotic, who started Real Madrid before coming over to the Chicago Bulls. So there's a real Real Madrid flavor on this court today.
Leads up to 11, 30-19, 7.5 to go first half.
Of course, Mirotic is going to be without Pau Gasol this year as Pau heads to the San Antonio Spurs.
Mirotic with the first 2 free throws of the game for Spain. That's too easy. Campazzo, he played so well the other day in that game against Brazil.
He's got so much toughness. A lot of pressure on Campazzo and La Provitola to replace guys like Prigioni. Done a good job.
Nocioni took a shot there in the lane.
Amazing.
No stranger to that.
They asked him in at Las Vegas, how long can you keep playing? He said, it's up to my friends, my legs. If my friends are good, I'm okay. Look at this.
So again, goes right to the basket. Can't finish. Saved by Reyes. Quickly to Rodriguez. Mirotic wants to get a little closer. Oh,
nice.
Better pass. Unable to finish in the lane. I think they got Scola for a foul.
Boy,
that was a nice touch pass.
Terrific ball movement. Absolutely. Watch this right here. Talk about touch pass. That's been Claver's issue, boy. Is that, yeah, Claver.
Yeah.
I've always liked him. He's an inconsistent deep shooter, and he just doesn't finish with any kind of power. He kept him out of being a good NBA player.
That'll be a foul on Rodriguez. For his first. Watch the dismissal of Campazzo here. Sold a little bit by Facundo.
Yes, and you know, I hate to keep bringing up all the relationships, but Campazzo his contract is owned by Real Madrid, so he knows all these guys, but Real Madrid farms him out each year to a club in the ACB where he can play a lot. So Sergio and Faco know each other well.
Nocioni trying to find a way to the hoop, had it taken away, and then a whistle. Going against Argentina.
What do we got there?
Yeah.
We got anything?
No. Not in the games we've been watching. That's just kind of play on. Rivera back to the bench.
For a game that Spain needs, Mike, I don't feel the intensity of the.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, of the crowd, the Argentine crowd into it for sure.
Well, maybe the coach took that old tack of saying, hey, just go out there and have fun. See what happens. You get touch passes like that, and Reyes will get himself to the free throw line.
These guys are the big guys especially, so comfortable in pick and roll and touch passes. You see a great find right there by Mirotic.
Guarino picked up that foul, I believe, on the reach-in. His first. 10-point game, 6:20 to go till halftime. The veteran Reyes at the free throw line. And the missed free throws continue.
Argentina already over the limit, so Spain will shoot free throws the rest of the first half.
Back to 10 again as Pau Gasol checks in the game. Reyes will sit down. Pau Gasol kind of quiet in this game so far. Surprising, given his club up 11.
Yeah, and ball movement's been great. Of course, they've knocked down a bunch of threes. They haven't really gone to him that much.
Gasol just 2 points. Ginobili has 3 threes. Fernandez gets it to the corner. Navarro for 3.
Makes it look easy. Been doing that for a long time.
35-21. Ginobili trying to get it back in a hurry. In the lane, little jump hook goes down.
Great story, Mike, and ESPN.com by Zach Lowe about Manu Ginobili and his family atmosphere with Argentina and the Spurs. Just an incredible teammate.
Navarro. Mirotic has that kind of range, passes it up. Rodriguez doesn't have. Oh, he goes inside to Gasol. Just beats the shot clock. Ginobili with the home run pass.
Nice.
For 2.
Wow. That was length of the floor. Great look by Manu.
35-25, a 10-point game with 5 minutes to go till halftime. Rodriguez into the paint. Fernandez was hot to begin the game and knocks down another 3. He's got 13 in the half.
Good rhythm by Spain's offense. We saw it in the Lithuania game. They blew out Lithuania. They look good today. Ball is really moving.
7 of 12, shooting 3. Scola unable to answer. Mirotic with the miss. Up ahead. Fernandez looking inside for Gasol. He's got Scola on him. Oh, he found a way. There didn't seem to be any daylight there, but Gasol found it and has a chance for a 3-point play.
He snuck that ball right past Scola, who was bumping with him, and really, more than anything, good patience by Pau.
Gasol's been averaging 20 points a game in the tournament. Again, has struggled at the free throw line, which is unusual for him. He's a better free throw shooter than that over his career. Missed a couple in that opening loss. Missed a bunch, actually, in that opening loss. It got Spain off temporarily on the wrong foot.
Sure did. Those first 2 losses were last-second plays. Yeah. Brazil and Croatia.
Nocioni hits a little turnaround off the feed from Ginobili. 14-point game. Spain with the ball in the lead. And as Fran pointed out, just kind of playing very comfortably. Don't seem to have any sense of urgency.
Ball movement's been terrific.
Yeah.
Sharing it.
Gasol on Scola again. You can see that Argentina's defense just collapsed there. Scola really unhappy with the call.
Yep. They waited. Gasol was great in terms of patience. He waited until he could find a crack.
Third on Scola.
And I think that's a good call. I mean, we've seen worse this week not called, but you got to give Gasol a chance to get to the basket.
So Scola will sit down with the 3 fouls, 3:49 to go till halftime. It's a 14-point game when he takes a seat. A technical foul has been called on the bench of Argentina.
Now that's going to be problematic because you'll see the a bunch of free throws here, and Spain will retain possession of the ball.
Well, confidence builder here for Pau, sending him to the line.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. That's right. Well, my bad. It's Navarro now shooting the technical after Gasol shot the 2 on the foul on Scola.
That's right, Mike. In FIBA basketball, technical fouls, 1 free throw. They get the ball at half court. They play on. Chance for Spain to elongate this lead.
Rubio. Mirotic goes inside to Gasol. Back outside to Fernandez. Double teamed. Gasol. Rubio
nice.
couldn't finish. There's the foul by Navarro.
Stopping that fast break. D'Elia in the game now for Argentina. He'll play Gasol inside.
Argentina fans taking offense to that little bump by Navarro. Here it is. Not going to let him get a shot up. Nice move for 2.
Strong. Yep, absolutely. D'Elia got out of the way.
Amazing he went left.
Yeah, really. Every time. Yep. Well, you know, if he would have come back to the right, it would have been a Euro step, right?
It would have. 14-point game approaching 3 minutes till halftime. Mirotic had Gasol on the cut. It was deflected. Was it deflected?
Pau thought so.
Yeah, he did, but I don't think the official did from the look on Pau's face. 7 turnovers. Think the crowd's into it? I think they are. 14-point game. Spain has the lead. 2:58 left to go here in the second quarter. 43-29 on the scoreboard. Pazzo, who we originally thought was going to be rested today, has now come in and played a lot of minutes in the first half. Ginobili unable to put it down, taken down by Rudy Fernandez.
And we've seen Manu out there quite a bit in the first half. He started the game and got off to a good start. Good flow by Spain offensively in this whole first half.
Fernandez has had a hot hand. Looks like he's looking for a shot again. Throws it up instead to Gasol. The tip loose. Gasol comes up with it. Fernandez had it knocked away. Campazzo looking for something in transition. And he'll get to the line. Ewell with the foul.
He's going right to the rim. Campazzo, a tough guy. And he was absolutely magnificent against Brazil.
Fans for Argentina never sat down during their last timeout. Sang through the entire timeout. Again, this free throw is not helping either side. Lead stays at 14. One and 2. Rubio. Ewell. Gasol to the basket. Gets the bounce.
Nicely done. Nice little pocket pass by Ewell right there. Watching Spain in the first half, Mike, they've moved the ball really well. Everybody's involved.
Pazzo knocks down a 3.
Don't want to let him get going. 25 years old. He played on the Olympic team in 2012 as a 21-year-old.
Get this in single digits at the half. You're feeling pretty good if you're Argentina, I bet.
I think so.
Rubio misses a jump shot. Here comes Ginobili. His club down 12. Leans in, can't bank it home. Rebound taken away by Rubio, and a quick foul given to stop the break. Ginobili picks up his second.
He was point blank on that bank shot. He'd like to have that back for sure. And then he gives the foul.
Hate to keep talking about it, man.
Yeah. Ricky's not a...
It's like 50-50 guys are going to make free throws.
Yeah, he's not a great shooter, but he's a pretty good foul shooter, although he made 3 threes the other night. He was red hot.
Knocks down the second to make it a 13-point game. Navarro headed to the bench.
Coach Scariolo's managed Navarro's minutes pretty well in this pool play. Didn't see him much early in the week. Having fun? Oh, that's what made Brazil-Argentina so much fun over the weekend.
Well, you know, you often see fans kind of mugging to get on the big board.
Yeah.
These guys don't need a big board.
No.
They're just here to have a good time.
Absolutely.
Spain, of course, with players coming back from the 2012 silver medalist team. Gasol, Fernandez, Navarro. Jose Calderon hasn't got any minutes yet in this game. Has got limited minutes, frankly, in the whole tournament. Sergio Rodriguez, Claver, Yule, and Reyes. 8 guys off that silver medalist team.
Very much like Argentina. Playing for the national team has been a very big deal for a long time. And don't forget, this team, Mike, missing Marc Gasol out with an injury, and Serge Ibaka as well.
Rolling to the basket and getting an easy 2 in the replay there.
I do think I do think this team would be a handful if Marc Gasol were healthy. With his size and ability to score inside, play with his brother, who's shown the ability to play away from the basket.
Ginobili. Nearly turned over. Nocioni comes up with the loose ball, tries to bank it home, can't. And boy, Rudy Fernandez has been in the right place at the right time about 6 times in his first half.
Yeah, he really has. And Nocioni hasn't gotten going. He's really been a shot maker for this team throughout the tournament.
Navarro, the nice move, gets it back to Gasol. Can't hit the little runner. Put back up. No, again, tap. Gasol with his height. Kicks it inside, and Reyes gets 2.
Oh, man, that's great interior passing right there. Reyes and Gasol been together a long time. I just like the way both teams play, Mike. You know, it's just good, solid, fun basketball.
Spain owning the offensive glass right now, 6-1.
Argentina already in this quarterfinal. Spain needs this win. They win, they're in.
Does Argentina become strictly strategic in the second half as opposed to tactical, trying to come back from a 15-point deficit?
Yeah, I think they're just going to play without any sense of urgency myself. Now, the one danger is if they lose this game and Lithuania is upset tonight, Argentina will drop to 4th.
That's right.
And
play U.S.
And play U.S. right away. Now, if they were to lose this game, and I'm not saying that they're trying to lose, but if they don't come back, then they got to hope that the favorite tonight, Lithuania, beats Croatia. The tricky part there is I believe Lithuania can be 1st or 3rd and therefore stay away from USA until the final.
13-point game, 48-35. 35 seconds left in the game. Now, I know because we talked about this with this great group we had earlier at lunch.
Yep.
You got to play the U.S. eventually.
You want to play them as far. You want to play, if you can play them in a gold medal game and you can set it up, that's what you want to do. Now, they're not going to have any walkovers because this is a very balanced tournament.
Correct.
But someone asked me,
including the U.S.
Yes, and you remember the France-U.S. game the other night? France was down 3, and there you see.
Just as you look at it, go ahead. I didn't want to distract you from your point. But
you know, I had friends say, "How come France didn't foul late in the game?" And I said, "You got to understand, if they were to win the game because they outplayed USA, great. But the fact that they didn't think they were going to win at the very end, and Tony Parker didn't play." In their mind, the way international coaches think gives them a psychological advantage if they're to play the USA the next time. Now, you and I know if USA plays its best, they could beat France by 20. But these coaches do not think short term in this quarter, in this game. They think what's best for our ultimate success once we get to the knockout round.
And you believe the U.S. can run the table here and can run the table and beat people by 20+ each?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. I've been critical about some of the things we've seen, but I honestly believe at the top of their game that they can beat any of the teams remaining in the field by 20 or more. Little zone now by Argentina.
Reyes looking inside for Gasol, goes there, and Gasol is called for an offensive foul. That's his second.
Now they had the advantage on D'Elia inside, and let's take a look right here. D'Elia holding Gasol first. Gasol's got that left arm underneath. Was trying to get away with a old veteran trick as he picks up number 2.
So Argentina here, if they could get a 3, could get it to 10 at the half. Gasol's reaction.
First time we're seeing an oldie today. Getting a little action here at the end of the half.
Yeah.
Pick and roll, or do they need it?
Laprovitola trying to make something happen. Gets in the paint. And he got fouled, or did he travel? He walked, yeah. 7 turnovers. 3.7 seconds on the clock for Spain here.
Catch this ball, you got 4 dribbles, Mike. If you catch this ball cleanly, you got 4 dribbles before you have to shoot it.
2, a pass.
Yep.
Nearly a 3, but it's a 13-point game at the half. Spain trying to stay alive and doing a pretty good job of it so far. They've got a 13-point lead.
Spain needs a win to move on. Liam McHugh is here as I get ready to move on. Full disclosure, you told me last night, it gets kind of lonely in the studio here. I certainly understand it, and I am going to leave you with some parting gifts. So if you'll turn around the pillow, be able to see that should be able to keep you company.
Oh, that is nice.
Behind you, there's another pillow. Yep, got one that.
Yep,
and right behind you as well, there's another pillow as well. So
these are, wow.
Yeah, so feel free to take that home tonight if you'd like to.
This one, this is the Dan Patrick tanning bed.
Yes, it is.
This one's great.
Donald Trump's tanning bed.
That's nice. All right, apparently we have to go to the second half right now. I'll be comforted by these right now. Spain leading. They need to win to move on. Let's go to the second half right now.
Liam, thanks very much. Big day for Liam.
Yeah, a thrill. 3 pillows with Dan Patrick's picture on it.
8-0 lead early for Argentina in this game, outscored by 21 since then. And Spain trying to play their way in, get a dunk, and a 15-point lead to open up this third quarter.
Broken play, and Rudy has gone that high before on many occasions. Well, you see the starting unit now back out there.
Yeah, Campazzo is playing, and I'm a little confused from a tactical point of view or strategic point of view. We heard that Campazzo and Nocioni were going to be rested in tonight's game. Instead, they both played 12 minutes in the first half. Yeah. Minutes.
Yep. And maybe Coach Hernandez, you see the catch by Rudy, just felt like, hey, we don't want him to play all 40. And as I said, Mike, Laprovitola is a good player, and at times he's been the starter during this this pre-tournament run by Argentina.
Reyes just backs his way in, unable to finish. Campazzo comes up with a loose ball, and he gets fouled at half court.
I will be anxious to see the intensity level with which Argentina plays with this first 5 or 6 minutes. They're down. They're already in this quarterfinal. You see the foul by Rudy.
It's hard to imagine a guy like Campazzo, for instance, sleepwalking through this game.
No, exactly. And that might be why he didn't start. You know, Coach Hernandez didn't want him to go out and get 33 like he did the other night.
Nocioni tripped, no call. Rubio the loose ball. Loops it ahead. Yule to Gasol for 2. And the lead is ballooned to 17 here. Just underway in the third quarter. Largest lead of the game.
This doesn't surprise me as much as Spain beating Lithuania by 50 the other night. But one thing for sure, Spain may be getting their mojo back.
Gasol with the air ball. Yule will bring it up.
2012, Mike, Spain lost 2 games in pool play and ended up getting to the gold medal game.
Well, they're playing like they're going to get there again as Gasol knocks down a 3-pointer, and the lead is now 20, 55-35.
It's amazing. He came in 8 of 12 behind the arc in this tournament. You know, the question is for Coach Hernandez is if this lead stays around 20 as we get closer to the end of the third quarter, then do you rest your best players knowing don't expend the energy to come back in the game that looks like it's out of reach as opposed to saving these guys for the quarterfinals.
7-0 run for Spain to open up this third quarter. Fernandez, a big scoring night so far. Ginobili, speaking of scoring nights, knocks down another 3. That's his 4th 3 of the game. He's got 13 overall. Make that 60. Sergio Yule to the bucket.
That's too easy right there. No effort by the Argentina defense that time.
Quick shot doesn't go from Campazzo. Rubio in the paint, kicks it back out. Yule takes it all the way to the basket, even though he didn't get a very good pick there from Gasol.
We've seen that speed of Sergio Yule throughout the tournament. Isn't it amazing on this team with Reyes inside how comfortable Pau is on the perimeter? There's that drive by Yule. We talked about Yule early in the tournament. He's the property of the Houston Rockets. They've made a number of offers to get him to come to the NBA, and to this point he's rejected them all.
Provitola picking up his 3rd.
You see Coach Scariolo.
(59-38) 21 the difference. 7:20 left to go in the third. You tuned in late. Argentina got off to an 8-0 start in this game, and since then it has been all Spain. Outscoring Argentina by 29 points since that opening 8-point run. A little extra spin by Gasol didn't work out.
Campazzo only plays one speed.
He does indeed.
Oh man, he's a magician at his size.
Facundo Campazzo. 19-point game. Argentina may be down by 19, but it hasn't discouraged the fans from singing. Nocioni pulls it back out. Gets up ahead of steam, loses the handle. It's picked off by Yule. And then a foul is given.
D'Elia just reaches in.
Yeah.
Scola's got the 3. He starts on the bench to start the second half. D'Elia is just really an energy guy, real no offensive skill.
Fernandez trying to find the screen, gets it instead to the guy cutting the basket, doesn't work out. Taken down by Nocioni. Out of bounds, going back Spain's way.
Not a lot of set play offense right now from either team.
No. 5:55 to go here in the third. Spain again has to win to advance. Argentina is into the next round. It's just a question of where they could be seated, and they could be seated as low as 4.
Yes, and that would not be to their advantage. They are hoping if they lose this game that Lithuania will beat Croatia tonight.
Nocioni has picked up a technical foul. Not surprising. Rubio. Deflected out of bounds. Ginobili, 39 years old. Comes Carino back into the game. And Ginobili will sit down. Wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see him again.
I'm anxious to watch this last 5 minutes of the third quarter just to see how Coach Hernandez plays this. Carino back in. He'll be a teammate of Ginobili's this year in San Antonio.
Ginobili takes the bench with 16 points. Whistle and a foul is going on Yule. Lapovitola will get to the line.
Good inbounds right there.
Nice inbounds pass.
Yeah, good read. Breakdown by Argentina.
15 points in the game now for Pau Gasol. Mirotic back in. 62-40 in a game Spain had to win. They're winning.
I said this early, Mike, and I don't know if it's coincidental, but I don't see the intensity and the attention to detail by Argentina in this game that we've seen. Playing very loose on offense, a lot of one-on-one.
Again, Lithuania and Croatia play later on, and if things stay as they are right now, that game will decide a whole lot.
Yes, it will.
It moves a lot of people around. Mirotic comes out to commit the foul, his first. As I just mentioned, that Lithuania-Croatia game at 9:30 will decide all the quarterfinal matchups. You can catch it live tonight on NBCOlympics.com, the NBC Sports app, or NBC's 24-hour basketball specialty channel. All Olympic tournament games are available on all 3 of those platforms. Navarro with a foul. I know you want to keep playing hard if you're Spain, but you don't want to be committing fouls like that.
No. The way this third quarter started, it's been very choppy, and I think we're going to be here a little longer than we usually are.
Trying to get it to Campazzo, not having very good luck. But how many rebounds do we see Gasol not jump and just take over the top of people?
Exactly.
Great stretch. Mirotic puts it on the floor, has it knocked away. Campazzo in transition, lays it down, missed layup, rebound. Rudy Fernandez keeps the dribble alive in Globetrotter style.
And there's another foul.
Yeah.
It's almost like the sloppiness of play at either end is the reason there are so many fouls at midcourt, because teams they turn it over, then they're not back in transition, and so they're left to just foul and stop the break.
4:40 left to go in the third quarter, in which a lot of free throws are going to be shot.
This is why I like 4 quarters, because if this were a college basketball game, we'd already be in the bonus, and we'd be in the bonus the rest of the game. Instead, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, team fouls go back to 0. I think you have more flow. I'd like to see that adopted, since every other basketball entity in the world right now plays with 4 quarters, except for men's college basketball.
And the reason for that?
They haven't caught up to the times yet. And because the women did it, it'll take the men, they won't do it right away. They'll do it in 2 or 3 years. I like it.
Hernandez. Rubio has his pass picked off. Garino kicks it to the corner. Nocioni misses the three. Rebound to Gasol. And Spain will take it under 4 minutes to play here in the third. Trying to go to Gasol, and they do. Has it knocked away.
Yeah, that might have been Campazzo from behind.
Yeah, I think it was.
Sloppy third quarter.
It definitely is. The officials are trying not to blow the whistle.
Good effort by D'Elia.
D'Elia follows his own miss.
It's almost like the officials know what's going on, you know. Spain needs the game. Argentina's in. They didn't start 2 starters.
Back to Gasol again. Looking to work on D'Elia. Little turnaround. Not this time. Campazzo the other way. Always in a hurry.
Better get back.
Apovitola for 2.
Nice floater.
And we're going to get a timeout. 3:01 left to go here in the third. Spain maintains control. A game the Spanish team has to win. A little over 3 minutes to go here, third quarter. Spain in control, 63-46. This could be a tough day for Brazil, because if this score holds, Brazil gets eliminated.
Exactly, and it'll be ironic if they're eliminated because Argentina doesn't win this game. Brazil had that great upset of Spain early in the tournament.
Yeah.
Marquinhos tip in.
And had some really good opportunities in the game against Argentina to win.
Yes. And Sergio Rodriguez just got called for an offensive foul, and then Navarro got a technical foul. Sergio pushed off Campazzo at midcourt, so they called a personal foul, and then Juan Carlos Navarro jumped in there. So that's also a personal foul on Navarro. Watch, there you go. See Sergio with the slap to the face. That was the personal foul. And then La Bamba got involved with the official. And he was teed.
Campazzo sell that one a little bit?
No.
You didn't think so?
No, I thought he's... Someone slapped me in the face.
You'd have hands flying all over the place too, right?
No, I don't, yeah.
Okay. Another foul.
And Spain can't be messing around here.
Yeah.
We've seen some leads dissipate. Has he been ejected?
He has.
2 technical fouls. He's gone. Well, he's been such a great elder statesman. Let's watch what happens right here. Acuna with the hard foul. You know, I'll tell you what they did here. They called a technical foul for flopping.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
And they should have.
Yeah. And that's why he was ejected. FIBA rules. Flopping is a T, and that's the ejection.
Apovitola makes the free throw. 63-48. 15-point game. Ton of time left. 2:45 in the third. 8-1 run now by Argentina. To the basket.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Don't
Campazzo.
Right? You don't want him getting started, Mike. He's a one-man wrecking crew.
It's down to 13. Garino aggressively out on Rodriguez defensively. Scola. Mirotic throws it up on the run and is able to get the foul call.
Campazzo tried to get in there. I don't think he ever got totally in front of Mirotic. Watch right here. Campazzo will slide in a little bit. It's close.
Close.
I think because he took it. There's that drive by Campazzo.
Yeah.
We have another tee.
Yeah, Campazzo just picked up a technical foul, and so he's got 4 now. And the fans just continue to sing.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And why not? Argentina is already in the quarterfinals. It'll be determined where they finish. And, of course, pressure really on Spain. Crazy thing about Argentina, Mike, is they can finish anywhere from 1 through 4,
yep,
depending on the outcome of tonight's last game.
Rudy makes the tee. Spain the ball in a 14-point lead. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the third. And it's getting pretty physical. Guarino picks up that foul. That's his second.
Well, this third quarter started out choppy, and it hasn't changed at all. Watch Rudy just ride the body of Guarino. Doesn't look as bad in slow motion.
No, I know.
We've seen a lot of that. Worse. I love Coach Hernandez's look, but I think you got a button, one more button there. That's just me.
8-18
okay,
for Fernandez in the game. 15 the lead. Apovitola hangs in the lane, can't get it. Rebound ripped off and controlled by Spain, and here comes Rodriguez.
Still in control, but they've gotten a little sloppy themselves, Spain.
Rodriguez inside to Mirotic. Spins for the left-handed shot. Hernan Gomez in the right spot. He got fouled. Boy, Argentina had 4 guys in the lane and couldn't get the rebound.
Yep. And Billy will go to the line. You know, Mike, a year ago, I didn't think he was a great prospect. He was a second-round pick. I think Sixers took him, traded him to the Knicks. Watching him this summer, this is a young big man who I think could end up being a good role player in the NBA. He's just a baby. He's been around some really good players this summer, like Gasol and Reyes. 22 years old, good size, mobile.
Is he a legitimate 6'11"?
I think so, yeah. Of course, he was a former teammate of Kristaps Porzingis in Seville, so they'll reunite in New York.
17-point game, 1:41 to go in what has been a very long third quarter with a lot of fouls and timeouts.
Intentamos ejecutarlo, ¿vale? Si jugamos esto, si jugamos esto, ¿vale? Porque si no, si cada uno empieza, no entramos en una dinámica. Luis tocando en el central y cayendo.
Coach Hernandez reminds me of the businessman that comes home after work and he coaches his daughter's softball team, and he's saying, let's get 2. With that casual business look.
We've had 15 fouls called in the third quarter, and there have been 9 turnovers. Alley-oops working out well for Spain.
And I think in part because of the lack of defensive intensity that Argentina's shown for much of this game. When you coach in this kind of tournament, you have to ask yourself, you know, how much is it worth expending the energy of my veteran players, knowing that in 2 days we've got to play 3 games in 5 days for the medals.
Campazzo turns the corner, kicks it back, and a 3.
Boy, that's good for Mainoldi, getting off an opportunity to get some playing time.
Youngster hits his first shot, makes it a 14-point game, 67-53. Rodriguez. Fernandez in the lane for two.
Nicely done off the wrong foot.
Yeah, Rudy's had a 20-point game with 1:02 to go in the third. Campazzo, little crossover. Always trying to get to the paint.
Sure is.
Mirotic with the miss. Under a minute in the third. Ewell off the dribble. Got in the air and didn't know where to go. Numbers on the break. Pull up three.
There's foul.
Foul.
Yeah. Unnecessary by, I think, Sergio Ewell.
Yeah. Laprovitola is going to get to the line. Stuff like that just lets the other team back in the game.
Especially when he's going to have to sit down now with 4 fouls.
Jose Calderon getting his first call. Veteran has not played much.
Well, not much there.
No, it's not. No,
you know what? By rule, hands part of the ball, so that follow through, I wouldn't have called that a foul. He made no contact with any other part of the body.
Didn't seem to affect the ball flight.
No, no.
Ernie Gomez back to the bench. Eight points for Nicholas.
Yeah, there was some question, Mike, a couple years ago that with the golden generation getting older, especially with Prigioni retiring, Pepe Sanchez has retired now for a while, what was the point guard going to be like? And I think Campazzo and Laprovitola have done a nice job in this Olympics.
Here's Steele.
Laprovitola 26, Campazzo 25, so they got a couple more cycles in them.
Good look at the wide shot. Get to see all the players. Another foul. Take a look. Calderon.
No need.
Yeah, Guarino picking up his 4th foul.
Yeah.
A lot of people with 4 fouls.
Yeah, and fouling Calderon that far out from the basket.
A guy who is not going to miss free throws.
Not only is he not going to miss, he once shot 97% in the NBA, an all-time record. And to come off the bench like that's pretty good.
Guys like that prove there's no such thing as the announcer's jinx.
Exactly.
Just go make their free throws and walk away.
Yep.
71-55, 16-point game, 21.4 left to go here in the third. Spain, again, if you tuned in late, needing this game to advance. Argentina, only the seeding will be affected.
Well,
Reyes with the foul.
Yep. At the beginning of this third quarter, Mike, I said this had a chance to be a choppy quarter, and
Yes, you did.
It certainly has.
Like that old Snickers commercial, we're going to be here for a while.
Exactly.
18 total fouls in the third quarter. Even the singers are getting tired.
I don't know about you, but I'm hearing the same tunes over and over, you know.
71-57-14. Rodriguez got it off. And we'll take a break. 14-point game. Spain has got the lead, appears to be in control. We are back 71-57. Our score, 14-point lead. It belongs to Spain, a team that needs this to advance. As we've been mentioning, Argentina will only be affected seeding-wise. They are into the medal round.
And if Argentina were to lose this game, Mike, then tonight's matchup, Lithuania and Croatia, would play a big part in where they finish, because if Lithuania wins, Argentina plays Australia, and if Croatia upsets Lithuania tonight, they will open with USA. So
no day at the beach either way.
No day at the beach either way. Obviously, they prefer Australia, But they're going to bank on, if they don't come back in this game, that Lithuania will play full throttle tonight and try to beat Croatia.
Scola rolling to the hoop, but unable to get to the pass. It's turned over. Calderon getting some minutes at the point. Reyes, little jump hook. Spain comes up with another opportunity. Let's see if they're going to try to work any clock or look for a shot. Rodriguez kicks it out. Garino with the miss. Nice move with the dribble. Misses the floater, though, and that's not one of those Gasol rebounds. So he just stretches over the top of everybody else.
Like the biggest kid on the playground.
Yeah, exactly right.
Well, we're seeing quality minutes from Calderon for the first time in a while.
Yeah. Nice to see.
Yep. He'll be in L.A. this year with the Lakers.
Takes it to the basket for two.
And part of his problem is there's so much guard depth on this Spanish team.
Yes.
You know, Mike, I have to try to explain to my American friends, what do you mean a team would lose on purpose or not play all out? And I've said this a number of times. These international coaches, they think big picture. You know, in college and in the NBA, well, not in the NBA, because I see a lot of NBA games where a team's down 10 with a minute to go and they just play out the string. And
right.
In college, they'd be fouling and trying to make the comeback, but you know, no Ginobili right now. That 3 days, that 3 games in 5 days is a long time for these veteran players.
Scola with a little up fake, now kicks it back out. A great example of what you were just saying was the end of the France-USA game.
Exactly. Where Coach Calais elected not to foul. He didn't think they were going to be able to win the game. He had no Tony Parker, and it was a moral victory in the sense that if they beat USA, it would have been a big win. But now you got USA's full ire come quarterfinals or semis.
Calderon comes up short. To the basket. Effectively again.
Just say it again. La Provitola. I love it.
He's got 14. 73-59. That's the difference in the game. Under 8 to play.
Oh, sweet.
Yep. Nice move. Sergio hard to the hoop. Scola unhappy with himself.
You know, back in 2008 when in Beijing, Spain played USA. Watch the drive here by Sergio. It's right at Scola. Little ball fake. You see the contact. Spain played USA in the pool play, and Spain, Mike, played with no strategy. They just ran up and down with USA. They got beat by 40. You know what? Come the gold medal game, that game went down to the final minute.
Scola, mismatch, tries to back his way in, now kicks it around the horn.
Yeah, sweet. Mainoldi, that stretch 4-man, getting a chance to play here.
Leo Mainoldi, 6'8". Calderon. Gasol passes it up. Mirotic does the same. Rodriguez unable to hit the shot. Argentina liberally using their bench now. Down 13, 7:03 to go.
And the question is, again, getting back to this, as a coach, do you expend all the energy to try to rally from a 13-point deficit? Or do you rest your veterans, give guys like Deck, Mainoldi, guys that don't play that much, an opportunity? Yeah, first time we're seeing Brusino in this tournament, I believe. He's signed with the Dallas Mavericks next year. Very skinny perimeter guy.
Scola with the follow and gets 2.
Now, the thing you know about
75-64.
You know they got heart, so they're not going to go away. Plus, Scola knows he's going to get a chance to shoot a lot down the stretch.
And if you're the coach, do you stay with the guys that got you this little rally?
I think you do. Yeah, I don't think Coach Hernandez thinks they're over the hump yet. It's good to play these young guys. You may need a couple of these guys. Dex played well in this tournament.
Rodriguez directing the traffic, using a little time, up by 11. In and out. Another opportunity for Argentina. Leaner, no. Rebound of Fernandez.
Yeah, that's one of those shots I'm not sure you take if the game had significance. Too quick, off balance.
Scola quickly fronting Gasol. Now Gasol gets the spot. Kicks it back out. Mirotic fakes it. Gasol takes it, makes it.
Nice little two-man game with the two bigs.
17 for Gasol. 13 the difference in the game. 5:45 left to go. Scola wants the ball.
Nice
finds
cut.
a cutter. Rebound Gasol.
Yeah, Brusino, just not a lot of strength right now. 23 years old, undrafted. But Mavericks signed him to a 3-year deal. He may spend some time in the D-League.
Trying to defend and caused a turnover right there. Ball out of bounds. Come back Spain's way. Up by 13, 77-64.
Spain, on the other hand, Mike, has to play these veterans because they have to win this game, obviously.
Gasol logging a lot of minutes.
And that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, having to play 3 games in 5 days with this veteran Spanish team.
Shot clock's at 9. Calderon pulls up. Veteran shot.
Pretty smooth.
Yep.
Able to come off the bench and contribute.
Provitola. 79-66.
Yep. But still no Nocioni, no Campazzo.
No. Under 5 now to play in the game.
I think they'll get Scola out soon. That would be my guess.
Rodriguez comes back the other way. Gives it up. Fernandez. Inside Gasol. Across the lane with the left hand.
Yeah, nice job by Deck drawing Gasol at 6'7".
Outside, no. Needs some threes, Argentina does, and they're not going down. And the clock's starting to become a factor with 4:15 to play. Rodriguez. Gasol.
Not too easy. So you got some guys out there now not in the rhythm of the defense, haven't gotten a lot of playing time. That's a careless mistake right there.
And probably a little tired.
I think so. Which is why I think very shortly, if I were Coach Hernandez, I'd get Luis Scola out of the game and let him get ready for quarterfinal play.
Good stint for Jose Calderon, who goes back to the bench. Spain the ball in a 15-point lead. Mirotic. Clock more important than a shot right now.
Yes. This reminds me of 2 playoff teams playing a game at the end of the regular season. Rudy's been good today.
Oh, yeah, he's been the best we have seen him, without question.
Yes.
He's got 23.
Yep.
Was confident right from the very beginning of this game.
And very much in the flow of the game, too.
Yep.
Didn't force much, let it come to him.
And it seems his athleticism, when he's playing better, gets exaggerated, comes out more.
Yes, yes, absolutely. There you see, that's the one thing he can do. And then, to your point, Mike, when you guard the 3, he can go by you and obviously show you that outrageous athleticism.
Dwight Howard knows about that.
Absolutely. 2008 Olympics. Gasol's going to sit down now. Again, both of these teams, veteran teams, are going to need a lot of energy this coming week.
19 points, 13 rebounds for Gasol, and you can see Rodriguez again in no hurry now as we're approaching 3 minutes to go. 84-66. Argentina made a little noise, but not a lot. And that's going to stretch the lead up over 20 as Reyes gets hit as he lays it in.
Sergio might have thrown that ball through his legs. Let's watch this. Did it go through his legs right here? Nope, just a little pocket pass in front. You still want to see that Huertas pass, don't you?
I know in the highlights later somebody will find that.
Yeah, great look. We've seen some great passing in this tournament.
Scola takes down the missed free throw. Scola's the leading rebounder coming into action. La Provitola continues.
Well, you say that so smoothly.
I've practiced.
Yep. La Provitola.
Guy named Fuschilla, I know, knows all these pronunciations.
Oh, Italian, yeah, Argentine Italians. Ginobili.
Actually, I think he's a Shaughnessy by birth.
He's got Irish in him. Don't tell anybody that about me.
Mirotic in and out with the three, out of bounds. It's going to go back to Argentina. Fernandez arguing about a possession when it's 86-69 with 2:40 to go. I wouldn't think you'd want to alienate anybody at this point in the game.
I agree.
And somebody you might see a week from now or
exactly
4 or 5 days from now. Mirotic is going to sit down. Scola gets a nice hand.
So just to review this, Mike, with Argentina going down, if Lithuania wins tonight, Argentina is the 3 seed. And if Croatia upsets Lithuania, they will be the 4 seed, which means they will see Team USA right off the bat. Now, Lithuania is the better team, but be interesting to see how Coach Kozlowskis plays this game because he wants to rest some guys.
Yeah. Impressive comeback by Spain here after being down 2-0, 2 tough losses on the final possession each of those first 2 games. And, you know, a lot of people were speculating, well, maybe this is it. Maybe they're too long in the tooth. Really have played nicely since then.
And they've done this before because, as I mentioned, they dropped 2 early in 2012. And last year in Eurobasket, they dropped 2 of their first 3. So they're used to this.
Quarterfinals and semifinals and finals, of course, all coming up in the next 5 or 6 days. And they're going to be very interesting matchups. You don't often say this when the U.S. is playing, but I think this is anybody's tournament.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Certainly Team USA showing more vulnerability than we thought, but still think they're capable of playing much, much better.
But will they?
I think they will. I really do. You know, I'm an international basketball file, you know. I love this game, but I think Team USA is certainly capable of turning it on, especially defensively.
Reyes is going to pick up the foul.
I'll predict this, Mike. Watching some tape of Team USA, I think you'll see some different lineups in the quarterfinals and in the medal round than we've seen so far. I don't think they're going to be able to play DeMarcus Cousins as much as they have because he's been dreadful defensively. First time we're seeing Alex Abrinas today. He's a young player who will be in Oklahoma City this year. He's been hurt. But I think they're going to need at times to play small ball. And their defense in terms of the pick and roll with their big men, Jordan, Cousins, if it's not good, you can't play those guys defensively. And we know how good DeAndre Jordan could be at protecting the rim, but he has to spend so much time on the perimeter, he'll become, you know, extinct. But quite frankly, Cousins is the guy that has shown no propensity to want to guard anybody, and that's pretty evident when you watch the tape.
And you pay a real price for that against a team that moves the ball.
Absolutely, and we've seen it over and over. And he's a great NBA player, but he doesn't have to do the things in the NBA that he has to do internationally.
How physical do you think the games will be?
I think there's going to be the same amount of clutching and grabbing that we've seen. Absolutely. You know, it's a more physical game than the NBA, not because the players are bigger and stronger, but because they allow more contact.
And do you think USA, from what you've seen, is by that?
I think they are, because this team, without the experience of the other USA teams, they were letting the officiating get to them in the first 2 or 3 games. You see Brusino with the basket. And, Mike, I really think they've kind of had a heart-to-heart with, like, listen, forget the officiating, forget the physical play. Let's just play our game.
Spain did what they needed to do coming out here tonight with an impressive win, 90-73 as we wind it down. Final 30 seconds. Spain will continue after, again, losing their first 2 games. They'll finish 3-2. Last 2 wins have been blowouts. So, again, after those 2 tough losses on the final possession of the game, they have played very much in charge. Manu Ginobili got a chance to get a little rest today. It was a big part of the offense that Argentina had early, as he is every night.
Yep. And, you know, you mentioned Spain's great comeback from the 2 losses. How about this? They're the 2 seed now, regardless of what happens tonight.
And again, the real losers today, Brazil.
Yep.
Did what they had to do earlier, but did not work out as far as the standings go, so they will be eliminated. The Brazilian women have also been eliminated in basketball. That should be the final possession of the game. And Spain, 92 points. Impressive offensive show. And now a team that, again, a week ago was so down is going to feel pretty good about the way they're going right now.
So much veteran experience, terrific team, good players. They bounced back. They did what was needed. And they go into the quarterfinals feeling really good about their chances.
Pau Gasol, 19 points, 13 rebounds, leads the way. 92-73, the final score. Spain wins it. Let's check in with Liam in the studio.
Guys, thanks. Here's the situation. After starting 0-2, Spain moves on to the quarterfinals. Argentina does as well, which means Brazil is eliminated. Lithuania and Croatia have also advanced. They play tonight to determine the final seeds in the bracket. Group A locked up yesterday with the U.S., Australia, France, and Serbia moving on. As for us, we are moving on to golf.